from ASAP Network. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So obviously, you're out here trying to make a name for yourself. Well, not really trying to. You are seventh in the division. Even though you're fighting someone who is unranked, he came out and said that there's really no pressure for him because he's just going out there and fight. Do you feel like this is a pretty much situation where don't really win much and you can potentially lose everything?
I thought about that, because I did ask for a ranked opponent. But speaking with my management, he just kind of said that the rankings are kind of all over the place right now, and I wanted to fight as well before the end of the year. I didn't want to wait too long. I wanted to get back in there and have at least two fights this year. So yeah, I thought about it, but overall, it really doesn't matter, man. I need to fight. I need to win. That's it. And so it doesn't really matter if it's a number two ranked guy or an unranked guy. Once we're in the cage, it's all the same.
All right. And last question. I'm assuming after this, you would want a ranked opponent because at some point you're going to need something so that way you can move up and try to have any type of shot at the title, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
And Josh, we were speaking with Jeremy Kennedy beforehand. Obviously, he's also from Canada, just like yourself. Can you speak to what this means to your Canadian fans?
Yeah. I think it's great. The more us Canadians on a big show like this, and especially on the same card, it's better. Canada at one point I think was like a hotbed for MMA, and then it kind of took a dive, and shit just kind of fell off a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's picking back up now, and you're seeing more and more guys starting to kind of break out. So yeah, I think it's awesome.
Dylan?
Hey there, Josh. I appreciate you making some time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
I was covering that BTC 20 card a little bit ago there and didn't see you in the booth there, getting pretty accustomed to seeing you there. Obviously, you have a big fight, but what was it like not being on the call for that one? Did you kind of catch the results thereafter, or?
Yeah, I was bummed, man. I've been doing their shows for a while now, and that was the first one I missed. Unfortunately, I was in the States, and we tried to actually have me do it via Zoom, but it just didn't work out. I was at my place in California watching the whole card, and yeah, man, I'll be back on the mic in come March with them.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing and hearing that as well. But just as an extension of that, I'm kind of curious, are there any benefits you find from doing that analyst work, color commentary, as it relates to your refinement as a competitor, or is there not that crossover as much?
I think a little bit, yeah, because you kind of you're just talking and dealing with fighters, especially in the interviews and stuff beforehand. So you just kind of get to see everybody else's how they approach things and what they do. And then also when you're watching fights, that's the best education you can get other than doing it is watching it, right? So yeah, I think it helps for sure. It doesn't hurt. That's for sure.
Charles?
Josh, Charlie Quinn here from Who's in Your Corner. Obviously, this is your 25th professional fight. How much will that experience factor in your fight this weekend?
Yeah, I think it'll help, man, for sure. He's 10-1, so he's got a handful of fights, and I'm sure a bunch of amateur. But I think as far as experience goes, I've fought a lot of tough competition and tougher competition than he has, and I think I'll be his toughest fight today and his biggest name that he's fought. So, yeah, I think that definitely helps me.
Best of luck, Josh.
Thank you.
All right, last one in. Ronald?
This is Ronald D. Smith from Getting Real. Josh, I wanted to backtrack on a question you answered about just your opinion on the down spirit of Canadian fighters. Just to elaborate on that, why do you think that the elevation of Canadian fighters have changed from then to now?
Yeah, man, I don't know. There was a peak there when it was like, like GSP was his prime, and they were selling out like the Air Canada Center with 60,000 people, and things were popping off. But then I don't know what really it was that really kind of put it on the decline there a bit. I know the commission in Canada, especially Ontario, was a nightmare to deal with, and that definitely hindered a lot of things. It's gotten a lot better since then. So I don't know, maybe just, there's peaks and valleys, and that was, a little valley there, and now it's starting to rise up again. I think you're going to see a lot of guys start to come up, especially all the young guys that I train with that nobody's heard of yet that are going to do big things.
All right, Josh, thanks for the time. That was the last one.
Good. Yeah.
Yep.
Recording stopped.